Isaiah 47:7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither did thou remember the latter end of it. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, for thou hast said, None seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it rises, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
The Biden administration throws its support behind a $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Major countries like China and Russia are steadily pulling their support from the U.S. dollar, raising questions about where it'll stand in the years to come and how its continued decline will impact the American people. RT's Rachel Blevins is joining us now from the newsroom with more details on this. So, Rachel, what can you tell us?
Well, Manila, the state of the U.S. economy is raising alarm bells around the world for just about anyone looking beyond the stock market right now. And many are warning about the state of the U.S. dollar. Amid an already looming recession, a year of historic unemployment, and an estimated $5 trillion in combined stimulus, the U.S. dollar is trading at its lowest levels in 3 years. Just 6 months ago, economist and former bank chairman Stephen Roach was criticized for predicting that a crash in the dollar was coming and that it would decline by 35% by the end of 2021. While some pointed to the optimism seen in the stock market surrounding the 2020 election, Roach continued to stand by his prediction, noting that markets right now are focusing on one main thing, which is the Federal Reserve holding interest rates at zero no matter what happens. He said, quote, that gives the markets conviction to look through literally anything, from political insurrection to the likelihood of a double dip to a V-shaped recovery that's in tatters. The markets do not seem to care. But the rest of the world does care. And while the U.S. has long relied on its status as the world's reserve currency, countries like China and Russia have been taking steps to pull away from the U.S. dollar. While Moscow used to be one of the top holders of U.S. treasuries, increasing tensions between the two countries and a host of sanctions from the U.S. under the Obama administration pushed Russia to reduce its reliance on the dollar in recent years. Beijing found itself in the same boat with the Trump administration, as the U.S. increased its military presence in the South China Sea and launched a historic trade war between the world's two largest economies. As a result, reports noted that in the first quarter of 2020, the dollar's share of trade between Russia and China fell below 50% for the first time on record. Now, Manila, while we have watched China and Russia reduce their reliance on the dollar, other currencies like the euro have benefited, showing the world that they don't have to rely on the U.S. dollar as much as they once did.
So now, Rachel, what are some of the other factors playing a role in the current state of the U.S. economy?
Yeah, so right now, all eyes are on that American Rescue Plan that is being pushed by the Biden administration, and of course, whether they're going to succeed in getting it passed by Congress anytime soon. Now, the $1.9 trillion package would include another round of stimulus checks, enhanced unemployment benefits, state and local government aid, and funding for a national vaccination program. While the hope is that the funding could be used to help stimulate the economy at a time when it is desperately needed, experts are also warning about the long-term effects as the continued budget deficit lowers domestic savings and continues to take a hit at the value of the U.S. dollar. Reporting in the newsroom, Rachel Blevins.